Lost Boys.
Hi, welcome to Quirky Grit Bit. I'm your host. This is Taylor, and that's Ava. We're going to talk about a great movie today. It's called Ninja Apocalypse. Is it great? No. Are we going to talk about it? No.
Yes.
Is it great? Yes. Now, will you guys please give me one word response on what you thought of it?
Confusing. Horrible.
Both of those were pretty lame responses. Let me tell you what I thought of it. I thought it was an amazing movie. I thought it was absolutely perfection, and I thought it had a lot of very interesting things, like the fact that he split into a worm. That was good. That was good.
He just calls him a worm.
Another thing I really liked about the movie was the fact that there was no direction, the fact that there was no plot, and the fact that they gave no shits about what the fuck the viewer was seeing most of the time. That was A+.
Cut out.
You can't say that. Basically, don't see the movie at all.
And yeah, half of what he just said was sarcasm. If you guys didn't pick that up, then you shouldn't be watching this.
Half of what I said.
Yes.
That's true. That's weirdly true. Because he said it was great because the dude split into a worm. Because that happened and that was cool, but also...
He didn't even go into a worm. Why do you keep calling him a worm?
Because that's what happened. He was cut in half and he grew
then
into
he
two
grew
different
back
bodies.
in, yeah, but
what does
not
a worm
into
do?
a worm.
That's what a worm
It was
does.
kind of like that part in Hercules where he cuts off the thing's head and then it splits into two heads.
Hydra?
Oh, a Hydra,
Hydra?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was basically like the Hydra.
If you guys don't like spoilers and you haven't seen the movie yet, get out of here and come back later. Yep. So the movie starts out with explosions and
Describing a war that happened, some great
a great war. And then it says...
Which, by the way, completely unfucking original, dude. You're gonna call your war the Great War, dude? You couldn't... Like, even World War III would be better, but, like...
Yeah.
And
The
When
Great
I
War.
heard that, I thought of Adventure Time, like how like a great war happened, but like they actually like put
no.
something more into it.
okay,
Adventure
so
Time, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay.
then this thing kind of scrolls across the screen and says, years later. No specific time, no point, just years later. You can figure it out yourself.
You can't. There's no fucking... There's a fucking car! And then also they're talking about how schools used to teach?
Yeah,
What?
they do that.
What the fuck year are we in?
But like no one remembers
No one remembers
the Great
schools
War. They weren't
or
like
Great
there,
Wars.
so there's
So
that.
this has to be at least second
Yeah,
generation.
it was basically a mix of being in like the 15th century and then also with technology.
15th century?
Yes.
That's
Alright,
a little
and-
far.
No, I'm
the
I'm gonna stay with that.
ninjas all had magical powers. I'm gonna go with like electricity and magic
Have
growing
you seen
nails.
Avatar?
Oh
The
my
Last
gosh.
Airbender?
Oh my gosh.
It's fucking Avatar, but with shitty explanation.
No, you
and
know what I
no
got? I
creativity.
got Avatar. I got Dragon Ball in there.
There was
I
five
don't
main
know a lot about you
characters.
at all.
3 of the coolest main characters got killed off. Like,
Why the fuck was
Was
the
it-
only black guy in a fucking tank top?
yeah.
Like
there
everyone else had fucking ninja gear, but they're like, fuck it, put the black man in a tank top. It fucking
That is
it fits
true.
him.
He also
Stupid.
had no lines because he was deaf.
He was deaf and mute.
Yep.
Which means he got paid less, which is really sad.
But he was basically Toph.
No.
so-
And then also on top of that, he was the only black guy there. Like
Yeah.
at all. Like not even like when they had their whole like clan
Yeah, they
meetup
were like,
with other clans.
and then when they explained why, they were like, "Oh, he's not my real brother. He was just brought in because this other clan kicked him out." Dude, I
Yeah.
was getting some real racist vibes from the other clan.
Yeah.
Dude. Like they were
Yeah,
like, "No, he
right?
kicked him out because he was deaf and dumb." And I'm like, "You're telling me they kicked out the one black guy in the
yeah,
whole world
the
just
whole
because
world
he was deaf
too.
and dumb?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
well, he
little-
wasn't dumb. He knew sign language and could like feel vibrations in the earth and knew where you
Well,
were.
dumb
Okay,
means
no,
you
it
can't
wasn't
speak.
real
Oh,
sign
yeah.
language. It wasn't
So-
ASL. Like it
They
was
had
just
an apocalypse.
hand
Actual sign language is
gestures.
probably
You can't
lost.
learn actual sign language in an apocalypse. There aren't any books on that, Taylor. That's
I
fucking
don't know because like they
stupid.
weren't really specific on what was destroyed, and I mean the
Which I guess
world
was
looked
the
pretty
whole
fine.
world.
It just looked like
Well,
Everything looked fine.
They
there were
weren't
no
that
crash
advanced.
cars.
but they
Oh.
were advanced.
Did you notice when the one time they showed the fucking city in the background, it was still on fire? Like, no matter what fucking year it was still on fire.
The city constantly burns.
Mhm.
That's their future.
Fucking stupid.
And I call this out from the beginning, but Ninja Apocalypse, that title, the first thing I got from that was it's going to be about ninjas and it's going to be about zombies. And guess what? It had both in there.
The black guy got killed by zombies, so yeah.
He
In the
sacrificed
stupidest
himself.
way, he's like, I'll sacrifice myself and make an explosion. If you throw gunpowder at gunpowder, that doesn't do shit. It's just throwing dust at each other.
Yeah.
You need a spark
I mean,
or fire.
And I think the way he died was stupid too, because like literally he could have just like pushed them all away because he was a huge guy. Like he was huge. He overpowered
They
those
didn't
zombies.
explain why they needed to close the door.
Yeah.
They said we need to close the door, and then
But
the
the
elevator
gate
went
goes-
up without the door.
I know, and the gate goes up like he literally could have just pushed them back, got in it, pulled up the gate. It seemed like they needed to do that for some reason and just go up. But no, he had to just take gunpowder in his hand. He was like, "All right, you guys, die."
and then the one smart guy, like the smartest person there, got killed by sex. Is that what happened?
No.
They didn't even explain him as
was-
being smart. They labeled him as something else, like brave or something.
No, intelligent.
No, yeah,
he
he
was
was
like
the
the
intelligent
most
one.
intelligent,
He had a man
the
bun.
bravest, the strongest,
Solid.
the most talented.
The
and-
girl who actually had telepathy and could lift shit and stuff, she fucking.
Oh yeah,
She
she
died
died too
immediately.
easily.
They
Like,
they
she
could have
was
killed
supposed to-
anybody else. Anybody
Yeah.
who didn't matter.
She
but they
died
killed her.
37 minutes into the film.
How did she die again?
I think they stabbed
Really
her.
stupid.
Okay, the most talented girl there, like she had the agility, she was flexible, all of
She
that.
was telepathic.
She died so
Apparently not,
easily.
dude. Everyone else was like, "Yeah, beating up ninjas, dude, they're so easy," and she's like, "Oh, I can
Yeah,
barely
and she's
beat
struggling
two."
with
And it's like,
two.
what?
And
Two of them.
She had electric powers like everybody else.
Okay.
Oh, okay,
The
with the
blue
power
lightning?
thing, they made it seem like they all shared a power or something. They were
No,
like,
they
did
had like
you
like
used it
imagine
up?
like video games and like fucking an energy bar, and they're like, is it full or is it decreased? It's like mine's out.
And then like it like
And then miraculously,
replenishes itself the next day, and I'm like, okay, that
which
makes
they didn't
sense.
explain. They had no explanation for that. He just got up the next day and started fucking lightsaber battling the fucking.
Oh
dude who
yeah,
could
the
also-
lightsaber.
The fucking lightsaber
Okay,
battle at the end.
I
yeah.
have to tell you about. Okay, those swords were so fake. Like they were the thickest looking swords I have ever seen in my life, fighting each other, and like it was like so like
They
Star
look like
Wars.
fucking pieces of wood.
Yeah,
like,
they were like wood, and then they like gave a picture to a little kid, and like the little kid like drew blue all over it.
Oh
like-
god, it was bad.
It was really bad, so bad.
And like, and then like even to get to the end, and then like fine. First of all, they somehow got home, but nobody else was there. And like he would keep looking at a picture
How
of his
the fuck?
family, and he was like, "Oh, I gotta get back to them." But we never saw anyone
How
else there.
the fuck did they? Hold on, tangent. How the fuck did all of them get seduced? All three of them. There were three left. All three got seduced because all of them were male. That's probably why they had to kill the fucking girl off first because they
Yeah,
can't
that
be
wouldn't make any
seduced.
sense.
She would have been like,
Well,
"Hey,
They
guys."
literally said these people are sirens and they trick people into sex and they kill them and they're like they seem trustworthy. Fucking they just have been trying to kill us and they fucking.
Yeah, but they're sirens, so
They
it's
killed
like
people, but they didn't.
they had
sing.
no.
They
I
had
honestly,
no-
yeah, I don't know how
they
they
had no
alert
alert.
them
They
at
were
all.
just
Nothing.
like, "Hey, I'm pretty. Come make out with me," and they
Yeah.
were like, "Yeah, you know what? That seems."
If they
like a
had like
really
some
good
sort
idea."
of powder or something and they were like, oh, now you're like fucking attracted to us or something.
Yeah,
That would make sense.
It's like illusion.
Yeah, but now it's just like,
Yeah.
but it's just like, no, I got big fucking tits. You want to come fuck? And they're like, I mean, I've been running for my life for 3 hours,
Yeah,
but yeah,
like-
it sounds good.
And like the way they snuck around the corners.
Oh yeah.
There was this one part where the guy was like, "Just go, like just move." I was dead.
I'm positive they fucking
Dead.
repeated the same scenes like 4 times. Like, I noticed that I was like, wait, that bar was there before. This is the same fucking scene but mirrored.
Like, okay, there's people chasing them, but instead of like running, they're like sneaking around corners. I didn't understand that. Like, Wouldn't she be like looking behind you or something?
You could hear their footsteps. Like every single footstep, you could hear it. And it's like, what the fuck kind of ninja are you?
Yeah.
They were really loud.
They weren't really ninjas at all. Like they just seemed like
No, they weren't.
warriors or
And
dumb
then,
people who
like,
fought.
they had these really old school TV screens, and a guy like threw a sword at it, and then all the other TVs started malfunctioning that were like separate from the one TV, and he was like, "Oh my god,
I
you
noticed
broke
that
everything!"
too. I noticed that too.
And I was
dude.
like,
It's
"That's
just
not how TVs
That's not how
work.
it works.
No, that's not how any of this works. You broke one screen, not all the computers and TVs.
Jesus Christ.
It was
It was a waste of my time. Like, oh my gosh.
It gave me a
I'm
headache.
glad we're reviewing this. I could just get it all out there, but it was a waste
I'm
of
not.
my time.
It pissed me off.
Like, I was really like hoping for something to happen at the end where it was like, okay, this movie kind of redeemed itself, but it didn't at all. And like the person who like framed the guy wasn't even like
Yeah, they don't give anything leading up that he's the villain. They just kind of like, oh, you know what? Now he's the villain. Hate him.
It was like
And I'm
What the
like-
fuck was the main character's backstory?
No
Because he's like, he
backstory
had
at
one
all.
fucking brother,
Yeah.
and then the black guy, and they're like, yeah, you grew up with them in your clan. I'm like, all right, that's his backstory. And then they're
Yeah.
like, no, Master Fuki, whatever, fucking, he chose you over me, and I got jealous, so I decided to
Yeah.
fucking.
And then I remember
and I
there
was
was
like,
a part.
wait, who the fuck did you grow up with?
Yeah, and then I remember there was a part with like his blood brother where he was like, his brother was like, "Oh, who is that guy?" And he was like, "Oh, I train with him. He's my master." And I'm thinking to myself, if you guys are brothers, wouldn't you know that? Like,
yeah.
like
And
he
then-
wasn't there for like half your life, and you didn't. All right.
You guys didn't like have a conversation
Yeah.
maybe for a second, be like,
Or like
oh.
visited. It's like, hey, this is my master. I'm training with him. No.
No.
Oh, it
They
was-
didn't explain where the powers came from, like if powers were unique
They didn't
somehow.
Even, they didn't have to explain. They didn't have to go into the fucking scientifics of it. Of
No,
how they
like,
have
I
powers.
just-
They
just
just had to
like-
explain:
Yeah,
is it
they-
radiation poisoning,
Exactly.
or were they
Yeah,
born with
that's
it?
what I'm talking about. Like, how did that come about? Like, is it from the Great War? And like, how did zombies happen? Is that from the Great War? Like,
And they didn't explain like where they were and how they divided up the land. Like,
yeah,
The whole
Or
thing
what
was
the?
there was no real setting.
yeah. There was like apparently this other bad guy group that was coming, so they had to do a bigger war. That
You know
was
what,
supposed to happen, but
it felt like
never
the
happened.
middle. It felt like the middle child of a trio of movies.
Yeah.
Like I feel like
There
they.
should have been a before and after, and
Yeah.
there wasn't. And
Yeah.
you were just like, "What is this?"
Basically, the movie just started from the middle
I felt like I should have known.
and just went on to like just nowhere. Like, it started
They,
from
like,
the middle and went nowhere.
They expected me to know who the people were, and I was like, I don't know any of these people.
Yeah.
Or where the powers came from.
Yeah.
Or
You
who the
didn't-
fuck the other clan was.
When they died, you didn't really care because you didn't know them.
Yeah,
No.
you're like, all right, the girl died, the guy died, okay. Like, I was thinking, like, why did he have to die now?
By the
But-
way, you could tell exactly what was gonna happen 20 minutes before everything happened.
Yeah.
I swear to God. Like when their fucking hand was on, when the zombie's hand was on the
The
fucking.
floor, and
Yeah.
it was like moving.
Yeah, and it was moving, and I was like, that's gonna turn into a whole zombie. Are you
Yeah.
guys just gonna fucking leave that there? You could throw it down the elevator. You
Oh,
saw it
yeah.
happen.
Yeah, other zombies don't
Yeah,
like,
and-
merge together or like create more zombies when you cut off one of their limbs. So that was
No,
They're
okay.
like
in the
fucking
jail
worms.
cell,
Yeah, that
in
was
the
weird.
jail cell, like when he cut the zombie in half and like it just like
It merged back
regrew
together.
itself.
But like if
No,
you,
it grew itself back. It grew
Yeah.
back legs and then
was
it
two
grew back a
different
top
people.
body.
It grew into
and I'm
two
like,
different.
so
Oh no, it's
weird.
okay because it doesn't make sense to me either. It's all right if you don't
I
get
was
it.
like, what?
it,
Did you notice how when it did go back into two people, it grew back into two different actors that it was
Yeah.
cut from?
Yeah, like one of the actors was like way
Oh my
shorter than
God,
the other
dude.
one, and they were like,
It's fucking stupid.
so if you become a zombie and you get cut in half, you will then be twins, but fraternal twins.
I will
Yeah.
admit that was kind of cool. How
yeah,
you
that
could-
concept was cool.
Yeah, I
but,
was like,
uh,
oh, maybe they're gonna do something like this, but my hopes were too high. They did
Oh
nothing
yeah,
with it.
it was way too high.
They
for-
were like, oh, we cut that guy in half. We'll just keep cutting them in the stomach. It's
and then
oh,
like with all this information, and a person who has watched this, multiple people, it got a 3.5 stars on Netflix.
But
3.5 stars on Netflix.
On
Don't
Rotten
trust the ratings.
Tomatoes, it has 17%. So
It doesn't even deserve that much. Maybe a 1.
Give it a 1.5.
A 1.5?
It had some cool shit.
I
Like,
It was
maybe the
shitty, but-
zombie cutting, like, growing back.
That
Okay,
was
shit.
yeah.
Maybe the
It
powers,
was
too.
I felt like they had a lot of good concepts and they just fumbled and fucked all of them.
Yeah,
they were
like-
just like, I like zombies
Whoever,
and
like-
ninjas and magic. Let's smush them together.
Yeah,
and hope it's
like,
okay.
whoever wrote this, like, had a good idea, but they couldn't project it. Like, they couldn't
Yeah.
make it into a movie. If somebody was to maybe remake the movie better with, like, more money and better effects, I think it would be good, but, not this movie.
If you guys
Just-
want to remake the movie and send it to us, we're open for watching a better version.
No, Ava,
Also,
no,
we
no.
will make fun of it though. So
Yeah.
You gotta,
If you
You gotta have
if you
a thick
want us
skin
to
if you
review
really want us to
your
fucking-
movie, totally cool too. Like we will pick apart that. So
Yep.
if you're brave enough.
leave it all in.
Me and Ava, Warrior Princess, we watched Almost Human. That was our first assignment, and she
It has-
claimed that it had very rapey scenes in it. So I'm like, okay, let me see what these rapey scenes are. I watched it, and probably the last 30 to 20 maybe minutes, there was probably maybe a little bit of sexual things, but no
It was
rapey,
pretty rapey.
at all.
She
Okay.
ripped her underwear off and stuck a weird alien tube on her vagina.
To put an egg? No. Okay, have you ever seen the movie Alien?
Of course.
Okay,
Fucking
that's
classic.
exactly how it was, and Ava's never seen it, so she was
That's
like,
not how
it wa-
Alien was.
okay,
He-
not like
Alien had
that.
the fucking face huggers
He
that jumped
ripped-
into your face and then raped your
Okay.
mouth. That's different than.
It did. How does it rape your mouth? Like
He-
nothing.
What do you mean? How did it rape your mouth? How the fuck
having
did the
sex
egg?
with you at
Oh
all?
my god!
All right,
You're
so-
telling me that this face hugger that literally claps onto your face
Yes.
and then fucking
It's a
all of a sudden there's an
parasite.
egg in your stomach.
It's a so you're
Did
gonna,
not just
okay,
rape
so you're,
your mouth.
Okay,
That's
so
rape, right?
basically,
That's rape.
Thank you.
okay, that's basically calling a parasite a rapist. Do you not understand that? Like,
Well, you're violated.
No, but
yeah,
he
they're
ripped her
violating
underwear
you.
off
Okay, but he
and
wasn't having
stuck
sex
a long
with her.
tubular thing in her vagina.
It didn't go in her vagina. He just like put it,
Fine.
This movie on
positioned it.
Netflix? What the
over
fuck?
He suctioned
Like you didn't
up
see anything,
her
but
vagina
like
with a large.
he positioned it over there so he could put the egg in her so she could like have a baby.
And she was traumatized.
Yeah, I'd be traumatized too.
And-
But it was not rapey. If you've ever seen the movie Alien, it was just like the face huggers he was talking about.
I think we should
but it
cut
was
this
like
out. People are
a
gonna think-
long tube and it went in people's
Just like
throats, in their stomachs.
Oh, wait, you've never
And
seen
vaginas.
Alien?
She's never seen Alien.
Why do you have this?
It came in a loot crate.
Oh,
I,
that's true.
yeah. So
This should compel you to watch Alien. All of them.
See how
All the
badass
movies.
that thing is?
Because it's a classic and it has influenced many movies. Like this movie, obviously.
Rapey.
It's not rapey.
But
But
it
I don't
did-
see anything rapey about it. You guys could comment below and like talk about that because I don't find it rapey. She finds it rapey. I find rapey like actual rapey, but she thinks like
Of
aliens
course you find
putting
actual rape rapey. That's not
putting like
a
actual
surprise
like
to anybody.
eggs in someone's body
Oh my
rapey. I
God.
don't know. I don't-
That's all for this week. I'm Warrior Princess.
I'm Queen Tay.
I'm the fucker on the right.
Basically, he is. Yes.
Don't forget
Is
to
it the
like.
right? Does it flip it? Am I wrong?
You are wrong.
If someone's watching.
There, you
Alright,
need
to
the
me
other
it
one.
looks like I'm on the right, so tell me if it's inverted so I know. Just let me know.
You could just
Don't
watch.
forget to like because we're awesome. Subscribe so you can be updated.
Follow
And
us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Is that it?
Yep.
3 things? Yeah.
LinkedIn, you could follow us on Tumblr, you could follow
We don't
us
have a
on,
fucking Tumblr.
you could
What the fuck are you
follow us
talking
on
about?
DeviantArt
Can
or
you
Pinterest
just stop talking?
or-
Can you not listen to him, please?
That's another
Oh my
one.
God.
Steam. Follow us on Steam.
come back next week for another review video.
And
Peace
everybody.
out.
Bye. You do it too late, Joey.